Hello, Astro fam. It's Shelly, your astrologer, here with the news for October 25th through the 31st, 2021. Well, this week we have a lot of action on the fixed cross. The fixed cross, well, we have three modalities in astrology. We have cardinal, which initiates. We have mutable, which is more influenced and changeable. And we have fixed. The fixed signs are those signs that do not move as easily. Now, that's not to say that they don't change and grow and move, but they're more likely to take their time at it and to gather information and to stick to something once they've started it. So those signs are Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus. So you probably already know, if you've been following me a little bit, that we're in a time where we're building systems, where we're challenging ourselves, where we're saying, what systems do we want to create and how do we want to contribute to those systems? What do we want to see 30 years from now? This is part of the Saturn-Uranus square that we're experiencing. We have Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn is the planet of tradition and structures and building. It's that planet that reminds us, yeah, we're on this earth, we live in physical bodies, and we're subject to whatever that means. So we have to work, we have to build, we have to toil sometimes. But Saturn isn't always negative. It helps us to create and it helps us to be stable. So to add to that, Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is the planet of disruption. It's about challenging our norms, our societal standards, and even your own individual norms and standards, even if they challenge societies already. Uranus and Taurus will disrupt us. It's going to disrupt our food systems. It's going to disrupt those things to do with the earth and our bodies and challenge us to build something new. And with Saturn in Aquarius, innovation is the key here because these two energies share that love of innovation and that challenge to create something new out of something that really wasn't working for us anyway. So we have the choice to use the pieces, to destroy the pieces, to create something completely new, or to keep things that are working. But we're deciding. And we don't all individually have control over everything, but we do actually have more control than we think in some cases. So this is all about coming together as a collective and working to create our future. So when the sun moved into Scorpio, it added another dimension to all of this because Scorpio is also a fixed sign. So it's adding more intensity to this. So sun in Scorpio, it's more about going deep within yourself and feeling out things and spending the time to isolate, to do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Aquarius is a communal sign. So already we have these two things that are like, wait, what? Okay. Scorpio is more emotional. Aquarius is more like, this is how it's done. It has its own set of rules. Both Scorpio and Aquarius have their own set of rules, but they're very different kinds of rules. So when we have this planet that's like, wait a minute, I need time to myself, and this planet saying, but wait, we are building something here and you need to get to work. And then we have Uranus over here saying, I'm just going to throw little wrenches at you and see what happens. All of it's part of this game that we're playing and this life we're living in. So let yourself be pulled into that Scorpio sun. do some deep inner work, because that is going to help us build our future. Because the more we know ourselves and the more we're honest with ourselves, the more we can build a collective that is beneficial to all of us. On the 28th, the moon will come into Leo, which adds another little point on that fixed cross. And I love the dynamics between Scorpio and Leo, because yeah, they butt heads. Because on the one hand, we have Scorpio who's like, I'm all private and I don't want anyone to know anything about me, yet very creative. And we have Leo that's like, I need to be seen. I need to be seen. And when these two energies come together, there's that conflict, but there's this extremely volatile force for creating something beautiful. And when you've got Uranus there, we have no idea what to expect. And with Saturn also in the mix, there's the ability to build something that will last. There's the ability to build something that is for the collective, as well as for ourselves, for individual selves, that we can pull our individual stories into the collective story and really go deep. There is a warning here. And it's just a caution that you're not the only player. And not only that, there are different forces happening within you. So try to enter the story with as much grace and as much adaptability as possible. That doesn't mean to not hold on to your vision and to not work hard at it and to not actually put your voice out there, because hello, Leo moon needs that. But this needs to be done on a collective level. And sometimes that means working with other people, and sometimes that means spending time with yourself working on it. And sometimes that means knowing when to let go. So with all this fixity in the sky, it might be difficult to do that. So just tell yourself, if you're feeling worn down, just take a little break and you can reevaluate later. We do have a few things to help us out here. On the 28th, Venus will be sextile Jupiter. Jupiter is the ruler of Venus because Venus is in Sagittarius. And when a planet is seen by one of its rulers, it's happy. And a sextile aspect is an easy aspect. Sextile is there to help, but you have to give it the permission to help you sometimes. So initiate some things in that Venus and Sag realm. Have a little fun. Explore. Go after something, that quest for meaning, either in a book or an experience, and just see where it takes you. Follow your vision. Be aware that we are part of a collective, as I've said before, but let yourself be a little free. Another thing is that it might be a little easier to communicate this week because Mercury was in a trine to Saturn, which means that we were building the structures for our communication, and now it's trine Jupiter. So what you say is going to be easier to illuminate and easier to broadcast. And one final thing I want to mention to help out is we will have the moon in Cancer. The moon in Cancer is a water sign, and it will be in a trine to our dear sun in Scorpio. A trine is an energy that can be helpful. So if you're feeling rigidity and fixity and like you're a board that's going to break in half during this time, look to some of those Cancerian qualities. Look to your home environment. Look to your emotional state. Give time to your emotions And since we're dealing with Scorpio and Cancer here, anything to do with water would be great. So take a bath, go swimming if you can, interact with water. And if you have children, look to them. And if you don't, if there's children in your life or just children in general, you might go to the park and just watch children play. Your family in general might be a source of support and information. So this is either your biological family or your created family. Do be mindful that this is a very emotional time for some people when the moon is in Cancer. So with that and with this fixed energy going on, people might be a little touchy or they might be a little more explosive. Just do your best to care for people and to be patient and care for yourself. Take that time out from your family or from your career or whatever it is to ground yourself in your own needs. And then at the end of the week, we will be moving on from Mars and Libra. So we're going to have a big shift here. Mars is the planet of doing things, of getting things done. And whatever sign it's in is going to tell us how we go about getting those things done. With Mars and Libra, there's a lot more deliberating. There's a lot more weighing of options. There's a lot more indecisiveness. And when we move on the 30th, late in the day in Pacific time zone, we will be moving into Mars and Scorpio. And this Mars is going to be way more directive, way more to the point, and it might help you get some things done. Use it to sleuth, to dig into things, and learn more about what you're going to do before you do it. And you might gather up your defenses in a positive way. Now is a good time for boundary setting with all that fixed cross and knowing what your inner needs are and not letting other people push you around, because that could be a side effect of this time. When Mars comes on the scene in the sign of Scorpio, it will be in a square to Saturn, which is part of the story I've already been talking about, but it's also worth noting that when you have the planet of action and you have the planet of slowly building things and they come to a butting head, that this can be very frustrating. It's like trying to drive your car as fast as possible while you're hitting on the brakes. So just know that might come up. And it's not going to last forever. When Mars moves on, it'll be a little easier to move whatever you're trying to move. For now, think of it as that it's important to gather your information and to build your structures. And part of this fixed cross is helping us to do that. And you can choose how quickly or how slowly you go after things, and how much you relax, and how much you take care of yourself, and how much you pull in your community to help you as well. Don't expect overnight fixes. Just build an atmosphere that you can call on when you need it. And while you're doing that, just stay grounded in your home and reach for your stars, and you'll be just fine. Thanks so much for listening. Give me a like, a subscribe. Send me a note. I want to know how this is going for you.